I'm Blair Black, number 23, quarterback for the Melbourne University Royals, and you're watching Gridiron TV.
Welcome back to Gridiron Victoria TV. Before the break, we took a look at the Monash Warriors, who are highly anticipated to challenge for the Division 1 Vic Bowl title. But over in Div 2, Melbourne have taken charge. We sent Eric Williams to Royal Park.
Thanks, Ali. The Melbourne Uni Royals have a different history than the other teams that make up Division 2 in Gridiron Victoria. Now, to get their story, we're going to take it from the top, speaking with the head coach of the Melbourne Uni Royals, Dan Levin himself. Your team has come out of nowhere. You finished 4th place last year, and now you've taken the league by storm. How does a squad like yours evolve, going from one style of play to another? And I'm not asking for any traits.
No. It's a very easy answer. We got a good quarterback. The difference between last year and this year is Blair Black. You know, Blair came over from the States, was looking for a place to play, and managed to find us. And once we knew that we had a player of that caliber, of that athleticism, a good quarterback, completely changes the game. And we were going to say, you know, he's our best player, and we're going to design an offense to suit him, and it's worked out well for us.
I got to say, Dan, our coaches, Dan, Dom, and Trevor, they put, you know, they let us do our thing. They let us play with what we do well. We got our fast guys, receivers. I feel like they've given offense all the advantages that we could possibly have. Yeah, he's spread it out a lot. And last year I think they ran it because we had Vic, and I think he finished second in the MVP voting, and he's the man.
Because I know a bunch of these guys are very talented. Like starting the team last year, pretty much everyone was a rookie last year. We all learned it from the get-go. Just came up with the idea, how about we just try to make our own club, you know? I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people out there that want to play Gridiron. So the way it started out was we just pretty much create a Facebook event, just, you know, post it up on our wall. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a training session, you know, have a throw of the ball at Princess Park. And suddenly, like, all of a sudden there were people that I didn't even know of. I'm like, oh, do you know those guys? Do you know those guys? And like Ahmed was like, no, they're not. I'm like, oh my God, it's actually working.
Just 2 years ago, I just thought of the idea of starting a Gridiron team and with another friend, and sent through an email to the Gridiron Victoria League, and they sent an email back and had a meeting, and from there just small meetings, practices, just having a throw, and then a Facebook page, and from there it just grew and grew, and we had, you know, 20 guys and then 30 guys and then 40 guys showing up to training, and then we just entered the league basically, and that's how it just all started.
Yeah, I started out last year. Saw some friends post Gridiron photos on Facebook, and I kind of decided to give it a shot. I knew nothing about it. I just bought a ball, practiced throwing it around.
Really?
Yeah, I knew nothing about it. When I first came here, I didn't know what a linebacker was, and I remember Dan saying, you can never be centre, and I was like, well, why can't I be a centre?
You know, our team can play on their best day with any of the teams here in GV, and maybe we won't necessarily come away with a win, but that the skill level and the tactical knowledge of our players is not quite so far behind as it maybe was the previous year. But let's not make any, you know, jokes about it. You know, we've got a very talented team, and when they're playing at the level that they've got, we've got guys who can run, who can throw, who can block, and do it all very well. So if we catch a team, you know, that isn't necessarily playing up to their potential, and we're playing at all cylinders, you know, we can make some surprises.
They will be the team to beat and the team to watch as we get closer to the Vic Bowl. Back to you, Ali.
Thanks, Eric. We now move on to Week 10, which kicked off with Independence Day celebrations in Reservoir.
It's awesome to know that we could put together something like this, fly the red, white, and blue out here, and have some American cars, have some American food, and just do something a little different. You know, I mean, I love the Australian culture and all. I mean, no disrespect, but it's great to be able to do something like this that makes people feel at home. So it's good to have the community type of thing happening, and not just the local northern suburb community that we always get at our games, but to actually have some people that are coming from much further away.
Mainly Washington, D.C.
Lexington, Kentucky. New Milford, Connecticut.
Denver, Colorado.
And local or not, spectators were in for a treat as the Warriors played the Rangers Croydon's desperation was evident, and these early defensive efforts showed they weren't going down without a fight. But the Warriors returned the favour, making things hard for second-string quarterback Jamie Stafford. It was the beginning of the end when quarterback Dom Dearman handed off to Ben Curley, who went on this 25-yard run, catching the Rangers defence in no man's land for the first score of the day. And no matter how hard the Rangers tried, their dreams and aspirations of finals footy were all but over. The Warriors took home the points and bragging rights in this rivalry that has lasted over 25 years, as number 1 Ben Curley scored again with a 16-0 victory.
Oh, look, a brilliant day for us. I mean, our plan was to try and knock the Rangers out of playoff contention. We've done that. I don't think they can make the playoffs now, maybe mathematically, but I don't think that they will. We looked like we were potentially going to score every time we had the ball, whereas they didn't today. I think that was the thing that that really stood out for me.
No, I'm happy with the physicality of it. So I think probably just need to tighten up on some of the mental mistakes that we made. I think if we do that, you know, we'll be very competitive. And I think we were competitive today, but, you know, all credit to the Warriors. They went out there and they did what they needed to do and won it.
It was evident the matchday festivities had gotten the better of the Raiders, but once the game had started, they were all business, facing their division rivals, the Gippsland Gladiators, for the first time since the 2011 Vic Bowl. Perhaps with this in mind, it was a nervy start for the Raiders. And despite their best efforts, Don Veal caught the Raider defence unaware and scored the opening touchdown in the second term. It took a juggling act to see the Raiders claw their way back into this one. Despite the Glad's best effort, as it was getting late in the first half, Matthew Freeston made sure an equalising TD wasn't kept too late. The pressure kept coming from a purple haze of Gladiators, and an arguable call from the official held the Raiders back from replying deep in Gladiator territory. The tension was rising in the Raider camp, with the winner within an arm's reach. But Warren Gephardt could take a huge breath when the Raiders finally did score through linebacker Joe Michelizzi.
Coming out with the first touchdown at the start of the game on defence, which was good, put us up. It was disappointing that you know, turnovers deep in the red zone, which ended up scoring.
I know these guys can do it. Unfortunately, I've got to leave. This will be my last game. I'm sure they can do it. I'm sure they can win this Div 2 and get back up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a do or die point of the season for us. You know, we've really got to we had to get this win to basically stay in the race. You know, there's only a TD in it, and at the end of the day, we probably wanted to make it a bit more comfortable, but it wasn't.
It doesn't matter what the opponent does. You know, if we continue to do what we do and the small things we do well, I think we can, you know, play with the best of them.
The game eagerly battled to the last play. The next day, GVTV got out to Footscray to see all the action between the Bay City Buccaneers and Western Crusaders, a gigantic clash between two top contenders in Division 1, especially in this late stage of the season. Since the Rangers were essentially knocked out of the race for finals contention the day before, it had gone down to a 3-horse race between the Warriors, Bucks and Crew. Despite early defensive pressure going back and forth from both sides, Bay City got the points when it mattered the most. The ever-determined Crusaders kept coming even if the scoreboard didn't fare well in their favour. But the Buccaneers contained them and were victorious 29 points to 12. The reigning champions in good stead leading into the final series of 2012.
Thank you for watching GVTV. It's been a pleasure bringing you all of the highlights here on Gridiron Victoria Television. If you want to get down to a game, go to the league's website at gridironvictoria.com.au.
We hope you'll join us next time on Channel 31. You've been watching Gridiron Victoria Television.